I'm Christy, and I had a breast augmentation done at the Mommy Makeover Institute.
Awesome.
Okay. My doctor is Dr. Larry Schlesinger, and I had my procedure done at the Mommy Makeover Institute. I had this procedure done because in thinking about it, really it's ultimately about me, about you as a person and how you perceive yourself. I would say that, I've always enjoyed a healthy, fit lifestyle. I've always maintained an active lifestyle, and you can reduce by exercising, you can tone up, but again, that one part of you, it's at its end of its development, and so I believe a woman's body in any shape or size is beautiful. I do have an appreciation for the look of implants and how they are high profile. A lot of times you see breasts, whether they're small or they're full, and naturally they're full on the bottom, but not necessarily up here. And I have an appreciation for the look and the feel of that.
Right, the fullness under.
I've always felt confident about my body. I'm a petite woman. I've always been petite. Good self-image, good self-esteem. It was more about enhancing that. Coming into the office, I think you've already made the decision that this is what you want for your life. It's a matter of can this be done? And I'm trusting you, doctor, to help me to get to this place. So I think people have to have the confidence to step into the office, and that the journey to coming into the office, I think, is more lengthy than the moment you have the procedure and into recovery, because making a quality decision, I think, is the biggest step. But once you come in, it's just a matter of, okay, let's do this.
Right.
Day of surgery, there was an excitement because you go in and you're going to come out different. Not having met the staff, the surgical team, was great to meet them, and so friendly, so capable. There's just a comfortableness that I felt in the office that I could go in just trusting that this was going to be exactly what I expected it to be. And interestingly enough, when you're done with it and you look, you're immediately in shock because this wasn't there before. But it's a good shock because you know that you've made it over, to the other side, so to speak. And I was instantly amazed.
Really?
Yes, instantly amazed. Having been 5 months now since the surgery, what I would say is just trust the process. You're going to go through a whole bunch of amazement, or is it supposed to look like this at this point? When does this happen? Or, when does it look like this? But just, trust the process. When I researched online, I did see videos on that.
Did that happen at all?
That happened at no time with me. But I think it's because you begin with that base of who you are, and that probably makes a difference, because you have to do it because of you, not because of someone else or because of situation, but because that is who you are. I tried different sizes, and there's a idea that you have, but then in hearing that there's a reduction from what you're trying on after the procedure, then that made us think, okay, so if there's a reduction, then let's do one size bigger to accommodate or compensate for that. You know yourself before, and I would think that petite women would, if you're small, and petite, you would be already making it look fuller by padded bras and taping up and things like that. So the intention, of course, is to go bigger, but again, being comfortable with that in your new skin or your own skin, because I feel like this is my own skin, not new, but it's me.
Right.
Well, the recovery was interesting because, being an active person, it kind of halted that for a few weeks. And there was a moment where I couldn't do push-ups, for weeks, and that was alarming to me because you think, oh no, this, I worked out really hard before the procedure because I knew recovery would take those weeks. So feeling the muscles react and seeing your skin but all in all, again, 5 months after the surgery, it's just trust the process. It's gonna come in there. Your body is like getting a new haircut. Your hair gets in shock when you cut it short, but it settles, and just trust the process. Yeah. I think the process of recovery and not being able to do things, that should be considered when going into something like this, because it's not only the end result, it is a commitment of time, a commitment of your body, a commitment of doing those normal things during recovery that you can't do. So, a lot of thought, I believe, should be put into that, and taking that into consideration, that it's going to take some time out of your schedule. Having the opportunity to have this done, coupled with that is having a great support system, to have that caregiver that's committed to your recovery, that's committed to being there for you, not just doing the day-to-day tasks of that, but emotional support. And when you're surrounded by good friends and good family and a strong support system, a good medical team, then going through it it makes all the difference to have that. And that adds to your confidence in making the decision. And I think you don't really understand the magnitude of that until you've had the surgery. And then you realize, yes, how could I have done this without this supportive person? Clients have the end result in mind, but understanding the process and the importance of every part is important in making that whole decision. In speaking to Dr. Schlesinger, he's so interesting. I mean, he has such a varied, vast medical background, experiences. And so he's able to answer questions that you have, but he's also able to pose things that you don't ask, because he's much more knowledgeable, in the situation. So I think being able to sit down with him and have him explain things that kind of he knows, it's like interesting, because he was able to identify with me and be able to explain things that I may not have asked, but because he's, I think, so good at not just the medical side, but the people side. I think coming in, knowing what you want to do as a patient, and understanding, do your research, kind of be familiar with the process. I did read before I came in that there would be a number of follow-up visits throughout the first year. Dr. Schlesinger did tell me in the first sit down that, if I experience something, he'll fix it, So, for me, the follow-ups it's a lot, but again, it's part of the commitment that I feel as a patient you should go in being aware of the whole process and the commitment that you make to yourself. I feel today the same as I did before, except more of me. I feel that this is the me. This is me. So yeah, it wasn't a Band-Aid. It wasn't to fix anything. It was about stepping in to me and stepping into you. Do you, and own it, and don't apologize for it. I would say, come in with me. I'll introduce you to my wonderful doctor and his wonderful team, and I would ask her why, and are you ready for this, something like this? I would explain to her my experience, but ultimately I would bring it down to you, to her, and who you are, and is this the person that you not want to be, but that you already are, because it's about being who you are. Dr. Schlesinger meets you where you are. You come in and he meets you where you are and is able to take you beyond your expectations. I think that's important to have a doctor that is concerned about your emotional side, you know, your psyche, because going in to do something technical like this, it has a lot to do with the why. And so to have a doctor, you know, ask the why and understand that, I think gives him the confidence of meeting with you and with the team to move forward together. I would just like to say thank you so much for having me come into your office, for getting to know me and for me getting to know you. This is a popular practice. You can see when you come in that people will wait in line for Dr. Schlesinger. And he is a wonderful doctor, wonderful man. It's such a joy to come in and see him. You know, I never think of it as, oh my gosh, another appointment, or how many times do I have to come in? No, it's a joy, and that's where the connection comes in. So, you know, find the right fit for you, and he's the right fit, and I love him.